I'm Sarah Forgany with KINS 5 News Now. We're learning new information about the 7 SAPD officers who were shot Wednesday night. The president of the San Antonio Police Officers Association, Danny Diaz, now says he believes it was a planned ambush. Diaz says the 7 officers were shot consecutively. The initial 4 officers shot were transported to the hospital immediately. The other 3 remained on scene while injured to continue to try and defuse the situation. One of the 3 officers was treated at the scene, but all 3 were eventually taken to the hospital, and 6 of the 7 have already been released and are now recovering.
It's very rare that you have officers that are those amount of officers shot in one incident. If you kind of look at the layout, and I've only seen the way the first 4 were shot, and again, I can't get too much into it, but in the amount of officers that were injured, usually that's what is the case, right? Incidents that happen spur of the moment, it's usually 1 or 2 officers that might be injured or shot, but there was some thought put into this, in my opinion.
Diaz also said, given the criminal history of the shooter, Brandon Poulos, he believes what happened could have been avoided. Diaz was critical of the district attorney's office and Bexar County Sheriff's Office policies, which allowed Poulos to be out on bond. To read more about the story, go to KINS5.com. A terrifying ordeal for a local family when a woman lying next to her child in the bedroom is hit by a stray bullet. This happening on the south side. Sarah Duran tells us what happened next.
Police tell us that woman was taken to the hospital overnight in stable condition. Last night, she was in bed with her husband and child when she was struck by a stray bullet. Investigators say it came from the park across the street from their home. They found out several shots were fired at this car in the parking lot of the park. However, one of those bullets went into the woman's house, hitting her in the elbow. We are told she was the only person injured last night. This is the 4th time we've covered a shooting like this since the start of January. 2 people, one of them, a 9-year-old boy, were hit by stray bullets on New Year's Day. Then about a week later, on January 7th, a man was hit in his home on Schley Avenue. Police say it happened during a shooting outside where a 17-year-old boy was killed. As for this latest case overnight, the woman is expected to be okay. For now, the detectives are investigating. Sarah Duran, KINS 5.
Also on the south side, 2 teens walking in the street last night find themselves dodging bullets before one of them was hit. Police say the boys were walking along Longwood Avenue around 10:30 Thursday night when a car pulled up. Someone inside fired a shotgun. One of the boys was hit twice in the face and upper body. The other teen was not hurt. The shooter took off, but police say the victim knows who shot him. Police have released new pictures in the case of a man gunned down on New Year's Day, marking the first San Antonio murder of 2025. This is the suspect police say they're now looking for. They say he could be connected to the killing of Jason Huizar. Huizar was shot and killed New Year's Day off Paso Chico Alley near South Brazos Street. Huizar's family is hoping someone will come forward after seeing this.
Just come forward and tell us more information that will help us be more at peace and have more clarity of what even happened.
We need to find him. We need to find him, and we could go on with our lives, but right now we're just like, who, why?
Crime Stoppers is offering up to $5,000 for information that leads to an arrest. Call 210-224-STOP. The murder of an 11-year-old girl is prompting lawmakers to introduce a new bill in the Texas House. Lawmakers want to prevent future tragedies by closing loopholes in the Texas Sex Offender Registry. Audrey Cunningham was murdered last year and her body was found in the Trinity River. The man who's accused of killing her, Don McDougal, was previously convicted of enticing a child. Right now, those convicted of that specific crime do not have to register as a sex offender. The bill filed by State Representative Trent Ashby would add grooming to the Sex Offender Registry. And in a statement, Ashby said in part, quote, criminals with a history like McDougal need to be on a publicly available list so that people can protect themselves and their families. Also now in other news, a San Antonio School District is considering a Bible-infused curriculum. South San ISD's school board members approved the potential purchase of the Bluebonnet curriculum on Wednesday. It's centered on teachings of the Christian Bible. The curriculum, which passed by the Texas Department of Education, has been criticized. Some people are for it. Others, like Tom Cummins, the executive director of the South San Antonio Federation of Teachers, are against it.
Maybe if they believe in a different belief, they could at least believe in something to hold on to the future, you know?
Effective reading instruction is not in this curriculum. Like anything, when you first begin it, it's not as effective as it will be a few years down the line.
It's not necessarily to be a certain religion. It's something for them to grow and learn and maybe take it with them out in the future.
The TEA does give $60 per student to districts that decide to use the curriculum. 20 of that would go towards printing, and if a decision is made, it has not been determined how it would impact students next school year. As he wraps up his first week in office, President Trump is stepping away from the White House and making a visit to communities that are recovering from recent disasters in North Carolina and Southern California. While he's away, his pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is headed towards a final vote in the Senate today. Hegseth disclosed to senators during his vetting process that he paid $50,000 to the woman who accused him of sex assault in 2017. He denies any wrongdoing. A new CEO has been announced for UnitedHealthcare following the murder of former CEO Brian Thompson back in December. The company said Tim Knoll will take over the role. He joined the company in 2007 and recently served as the head of United's Medicare and Retirement Division. Big news in the health community after a new study revealed people with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, have shorter life expectancy and higher risk of mental health issues. More than 30,000 adults with ADHD were studied during the research. Findings showed men with ADHD had a shorter life expectancy by 4.5 to 9 years. Women's life expectancy was shortened by 6.5 to 11 years. That's KENS 5 News Now. I'm Sarah Forgany.
Stream news anytime. Download the KENS